America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Big up, everybody. How are you doing? Good evening here from El Paso, Texas. Happy Thursday. Hope you are living well and too blessed to be stressed. Welcome into episode number 90. Sorry it's about a late one, y'all, but I wanted to bring something, kick the preview off. Got another show tomorrow, so we got two little previews for the Wolves. Got some guests tomorrow, got a guest tonight. We're going to get into it. But before we get into it, make sure you're hitting up that like. If you're live or on playback, big up yourself right now, and I appreciate you tuning in to United Spurs of America. This is the Untitled series, where I basically just get up here and talk my shit for as long as I can get away with it. For as long as I can get away with it, as long as my wife and my life will allow me to. So let's see how tonight goes. But big up everybody who's already in the house. Sorry for the later start. I got publicly called out by This Is Football, Sam, and they called me out. They super chatted to get me on there because they wanted to talk shit to me. But guess what? They think they can rattle your boy, but I am not a maraca, nor am I the tail of a rattlesnake. You cannot shake me, and I will not make noise. The only time I'm making noise is when I'm making it myself. But how are you doing? I hope you're too blessed to be stressed, just like I am. I got a beautiful guest. I mean, at this point, I don't even know if I can fucking call him a guest. There's an F-bomb before the 5-minute mark, so that might be a record. Hopefully, YouTube talk to me nicely and don't demonetize the video. But alas, there is a poll in the chat. Why won't Spurs get a result away at Wolves? Give a few options there. I really tried to cover the board here. So far, 78% says Spurs can and will still get points. 14% says the defensive player carousel could be why. Look, I said carousel because there's not enough options to put Van de Ven, Romero, Udogie, Pedro Porro out there on his own when considering he was the most suspect defensively. Look, we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. But before I bring out my guest / family member, Ryman's son, you get the first place prize. But I see 24 likes. You say 230. That would be impressive, but no, we do not have 230 likes. But hey, if y'all could get it up there, that would be great. But big up Ryman's son, you get the first place prize for being the first person in the chat. And Rich, you get the first YouTube chat member in the chat award. So big up to you. I did want to say before I bring out my guest lastly, I know I just said I was going to bring him out in just 1 second, but I was looking and I didn't realize there's over 100 members of United Spurs of America. Now, I feel like I'm starting to do a disservice. When I set up the memberships, I never imagined there'd be 100 folks signing up for that. And I know a lot of it is, like Chang, shout out Chang. I do have your gift right here on my desk. You said not to show it or talk about it publicly, but it's very beautiful. So thank you again, Chang. He always gifts memberships. David Shears gifted a bunch of memberships. Look, I'd be doing a disservice and not remembering everybody if I tried to remember everybody who gifted memberships. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, off the top of the show, thank you so much to every single one of the members. Thank you so much to everybody who does do the monetary value, the monetary thing in supporting the show. Look, that is above and beyond. And I say it every day. And I think sometimes maybe even I can say it and just kind of say it without really like feeling it. And I was thinking about it last night when I had some alone time, and I just want everybody to know that I really appreciate every single one of you who spent 50 cents to some people, like Alan Sibley throughout the years. He spent hundreds of dollars supporting the channel. So from everyone who does that, I just want to say big up everybody and thank you very much. It's love. I appreciate that. Never thought that I'd be up here talking my shit and people would at least listen to it and chat with me about it. So that's fun. I think it's a pretty interesting place, and this is a very great place. The space that we are creating here together at United Spurs of America, I really, I take a lot of pride in that. So it means a lot to me. And if I don't say it often enough, I just wanted y'all to know off the top, I freaking appreciate the hell out of every single one of you. So again, I do always I see you hitting them hearts there in the chat. Big up yourself right now. I'm feeling the love. You're feeling the love. Look, every day at breakfast, at dinner with my wife, I always say like at least three things that we're grateful for, because I think it's always a good thing to remind yourself of the many blessings life and the gifts that life will afford you throughout your lifetime. So I like to give thanks. I like to hopefully I can repay it some way somehow. But again, just thank you to everyone who does support the channel. Even if you don't do the monetary thing and you're just here hitting a like, hitting a subscribe, sharing the content with people, that does wonders for the algorithm as well. It's a war. It's a war with the algorithm, and y'all help me fight that every single day. So a lot of love, appreciate that. Look, I'm not going to ramble too much more on. We're going to talk about Tottenham. We're going to talk about Wolverhampton Wanderers. I'm going to bring out my guest. But just want you to know, I fucking love y'all. But big up, everybody, and big up to Paul. How are we doing, my friend?
I'll put a hat on. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, well done, man. 100 members. That's pretty kick-ass, dude. Well done. Congratulations.
You know, when I started this thing, I didn't ever think that there'd be at least like even 100 people that watch the damn show.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. It's pretty sweet. And I'm also thankful to meet people like you, Paul.
Thanks,
this
man.
YouTube thing has really afforded me a lot of chances to meet a lot of really cool people from around the world. And to me, that's a really special thing as well. So what an episode to have you on while I'm being thankful and all mushy and gushy, just to say, hey, Paul, I appreciate our friendship. I appreciate you first and foremost as a human being. And secondly, as someone who gets up here and we just have a good time. And sometimes it doesn't even feel like we're making content. Feels like we're just shooting the shit. So that's what I get a kick out of. I get a kick out of that.
And fourthly is your subservient bitch.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna make. Yep, that's what we're gonna do, Paul. we're gonna make Paul my lackey. That's what we're gonna do. And everything I say, Paul has to abide by.
Please, sir.
Please, sir. I don't even have a hat. I don't even have a hat lying around here. But big up Donovan in the house. Let me say what's up to everybody. Jazz Fusion is here. Nate, my pro clubs rider. How are you doing, Nate? Nate Pieta. You said I sounded good, but hey, big up. You want to hear that intro? I got the intro for you every single time. David Calvino's here. Big up, David Calvino. I'm sure I've lost another half an hour. Perhaps Jacob is resetting his search engine. That would take as long as the whole internet. Big up, David Calvino. Sorry about the delay, my friend. I was hurrying as fast as I can, but folks wanted to roast me. And you know what? I always say win, lose, or draw. I'm not out there to talk my shit about Tottenham Hotspur. No one can make me feel bad about the club that I love. And I'll put that out. I put my face out there on channels that are 2 times, 3 times, 10 times, 50 times, 100,000 times bigger than this channel. Their audiences go further and beyond than this humble channel. But what I will tell you is I keep my energy the same. I won't be saying this different shit here that I wouldn't say there. No one makes me feel bad about Tottenham. I'll put it that way as well. Like, I have a lot of joy. And even like, for example, my wife, she'll be like, you really think Tottenham are going to win today? Even when it's like one of the big boys. And you're damn right I do. Because if I didn't...
Well, even when we're bottom of the table, like we went through some bad old bleak times in the 90s. But when I was talking to other fans, like in the real world, no, Tottenham's still the best. You don't get it. We're still better than you. You know, you don't, oh no, we're not as good as you. No. Tribalism.
I do try to be rational when I can and be as non-biased as I can. But obviously, if you find me somewhere, I usually I can't take my Tottenham hat off when I talk about Arsenal.
Nah, man.
You know, that's one of those. I feel the tribalism there. It's just like, on site, don't like you, just don't like you, and the red looks gross. And like I noticed when I was a kid, I had like red hair. I had red jackets and like red shirts and stuff, and I had stuff that was red, and I never really thought twice about it. I just thought red was a cool color. It kind of stood out. And then when I became a Tottenham Hotspur fan, I was like, over the years, I start to wear less and less red. There's only one thing that has red on it that I wear. It's typically something from FC Dallas because one of their primary colors is red. They're red, white, and blue. So a little side tangent there. Futility's in the house. Big up Futility again. Thank you for the dono the other night. It says big ups. Romero has a plan for you. All non-believers will be baptized at the Church of Kuti. I like that. And that's that's something I did want to talk about. Look, I put his face in the thumbnail for a reason. Because one, he's looking at the camera ever so gently, and then two, we are looking ahead. And then three, I'll put a third reason because look, we are going to have to try and figure out what we look like without this young man. Again, do not agree with what he did. I think it was silly, rash, and I hear the argument that like he wasn't even going for a challenge. He was trying to clear the ball, and in his follow-up, he caught somebody. I always say you play cleaner, you take the ref out of it. That's just the bottom line for me. We know the ref is going to get things right or wrong. I feel like a broken record saying that over and over, but it's gonna happen.
When I saw it, I couldn't help but thinking, okay, you're trying to leave a mark on a player, but you're trying to look as if you're just following through, kicking the ball, sort of oopsie. So it was a mistake, but we all make mistakes. It wasn't super reckless and super aggressive and super, he's lost his head. It was just a calculated, and he got pinged. So there you go. You wear the consequences.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be out for 3 games. Obviously, Tottenham did not file to appeal it because if they would, I found this out today. If they would have appealed it, then if they would have failed the appeal, they would have added a game. So he would have been out for 4 matches. So.
I will take it.
I guess it's just
not saying
3.
you're right, Premier League, but okay.
But don't punish me further. That's definitely what I'm saying. Big up Bogosian's in the house. Says still can't figure out why we sold Sanchez. Ainge was using him all the time. For me, I thought that out of him and Dyer specifically, only one of them actually offered you any amount of pace, and Dyer was not the one. And now it looks like he may be starting. Now, I don't want to dive in too quickly to what we're going to be talking about here, but that is going to be something that I want you to think about, Paul. We're going to put together an initial 11. We're going to try to put one together. And I think normally we start from the goalkeeper and work our way up. I think we'll start at the top and work our way down because it might be easier that way. But we'll do that in a little bit.
Well, in previous matches, it's been easy, isn't it? Vicario, the rubber, Doggy, and now it's all up for grabs. It's all up in the air.
And the main question I have is it was always if something happened to Romero or Van de Ven, we were going to be in a dire situation, so to speak. And lo and behold, it happened to both of them to make sure that we end up in a dire situation. And look, Dyer wasn't awful in his substitute appearance the other day, but do I want him to start? Do I think he can operate in this system? No, I don't. I don't really think he can. I don't rate him highly in many systems. So I just hope.
It would have been cool if that volley had gone in, though, wouldn't it?
What are we going to do?
Gone in. Come on, man. That would have been sweet.
What?
That was Eric Dyer, but fuck me, that would have been cool.
Look, I will say this. In my predicted 11 that I mentally thought about before this, Paul, I don't have Dyer in it.
Well, there's a teaser for you.
There's a teaser. There's some foreshadowing, whatever you want to call it. Someone saying he looked like Britney Spears. Sorry I was late. I am sorry. Rich is here, says it's okay. We got Dyer. Conte said he could be world class. That's like me saying, I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it.
You're going to say something insulting, are you? Come on, hit me with it. I'm a big boy.
I was going to say, that's like saying, Paul, you're going to become a billionaire. He could become a suit and tie billionaire if he.
What are you saying? What are you saying, man?
That there's no way a billion. I don't even know if $1 billion could convince you to wear a suit and tie every day for the next 12 years. For the rest of your life, you have to get in a 3-piece suit, and groomed, well manicured.
I've got one. It's over there, but it's been on the back of the chair for about 10 years now. So.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't think, I don't think it could happen. Not saying it's impossible, but it's just one of those things not likely, I would say. Chewy did not want to come in here for work today. It was a little bit madness before, as you can hear my son's out there being madness. He skipped his nap today, so Anyone knows what that's like. Jacob is in a tuxedo performing a cello recital for Levy on his front lawn, says Futility. Now, if I could...
Can I have a ticket? I'd love to see that.
Not just a ticket. I would just like to know who's the one who contacted me to get out there, because if I have Daniel Levy's phone, I'd be asking him about some of this news that I heard today. And look, it's not news that we ain't heard before, but it's alluding to the fact, Paul. Do you know where I'm going with it?
That was such a silky smooth. I know I'm stepping on it, but that segue, man. Oh, ice hot or really hot. Sorry, I fucked it now, but
well, yeah, I wouldn't say you fucked it, because what you did is you helped build its esteem, let's say. But there's obviously now I don't even have the tweet pulled up, so maybe you did fuck it. Let's go ahead and say you fucked it, because I lost the tweet. But there was something that I saw. Here it is. I found it. So it's from David Pornstein. Says, as far as I know, there isn't much money at all for this winter. Spurs knew Kane was likely to leave and spent much of that money they would end up receiving for him in advance. Then after some at both senior and youth level. So they will need to be creative, and I'm sure they have some targets, whether they arrive in January or the summer. Let's see. There were players they wanted to shift in the summer to create space for new faces, only to see them stay put. We know who they're talking about there. We know what you're saying there. And then goes on to say, I think they may have wanted another center back, so that's one to watch and could have been even more pressing now that Van de Ven is ruled out for a prolonged period. And there's a very stoic photo of my man there, Ange Postecoglou. So there's a few things I took away from this. A lot of things, actually, that I did take away from this. So first and foremost is this first part, which is that we basically don't have money for the January window, is what he's claiming. We don't have money because we spent the Harry Kane money. Now, I was of the mindset that we did not spend the Harry Kane money. So there's a few ways of looking at this, Paul, that I've been thinking about it. So we could look at it as, if this is factual and we did spend the Harry Kane money, then clearly Jacob knows fucking nothing. Because I would never presume a businessman to have spent money that he doesn't have in his fucking hand. That's my assumption. So with that's one potential outcome. Or two, this is a smoke and mirrors screen. We're saying that so all the targets we go after when these little clubs were like, let me take that 18-year-old whoever the fuck, and we're about to bring him to Spurs. If we told them, oh, we got the biggest budget of all time for this winter, they're going to say, well, that's 10 million added to whoever you want. That's 20 million added. So there's a few ways to look at this, Paul, which is one, this is true and Jacob knows jack shit about business, or two, I'm just throwing that in there so that way if number two is correct, then in retrospect, it means that Jacob does know a good deal about business and how businessmen would operate. So, I think it's the latter. I think this is a smoking screen, and it's gotten a lot of Spurs fans on Twitter pissed off, Paul. They're all like, here we go, Levy in his tight wad. He won't spend the money. The man won't. Here we go again. Same old story. Not bad. It's a little bit of I thought they would have waited for this for next week during international break, personally, until they drop this little, because this is something, you got to keep the fish busy. If you have the fish doing nothing in the pond, everyone there to see the fish swim around are very disappointed. So what do? You throw some bread out there, and then the fish start gathering around, and then, oh, look at that, all the families start showing up. They want to start throwing bread to the fish, Usually you want to do that during international breaks like Manchester United does. They always watch the international break. There's going to be somebody's coming in to buy a stake of Manchester United. Every international break for the past 3 years, I think since Manchester United protested, every international break, at least once they've have some potential buyer. Sheikh Jassim's coming in to buy it, or someone's. So this is a PR move. In my opinion, and I hope it is the latter, that we actually do have the money. We haven't spent the Harry Kane money, but we're just throwing that out there so anyone who's wondering, we're pretty broke. We already spent all the money you think that we have. Because again, that's another reason why clubs could have potentially just added. Why did Nottingham Forest sell Brennan Johnson for 50 when really you could probably get a player like that a few years ago for maybe 30? That's my point is. when they know you got money, they're going to charge a little bit extra. And this could be one of those moments where we're like, we ain't got no money. Hopefully you don't charge me extra. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I don't see why the club would say, yes, we've got 100 million lying around. We're just going to blow it. Just going to blow it. I reckon if you got Daniel Levy, and he would, if you asked him, where's the money? He'd say, oh, well, you won't believe it. I went down the docks the day after the deal, and I had a good time. And there's nothing left. I mean, look, time will tell, won't it? But we don't tend to do a huge amount of business in January. I'm thinking, 1-2 players, it's not going to be a lot. Mm-hmm. But if it's nothing, I'll be scratching my head. If there's no players coming in, that won't be good. But I can't. It's got to be bollocks, this, isn't it? Just to say, I think you're exactly right. So we try and keep the price of players down. It's got to be.
I absolutely think that's what it is, because there's no way we spent that. That's like me going out buying a car with money that I ain't got. I ain't going to do that. Why would I do that? It just seems a silly financial decision. Big Up Machiavelli is in the house. Mark Cavill.
I mean, the Harry Kane thing wasn't like a big done deal or anything, was it? It dragged on and on and on, and there was toing and froing. And Daniel Levy's already spent that money, and he's risking the deal not happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, because he's still going in there to get more. So how can he spend when he doesn't even know what the final price tag was, if that's true that it just doesn't make sense to me. But Big Up Mark Cavill says, had to chuck my brain in the washing machine after that Chelsea game. Now we start fresh for Wolves. I'm kind of hitting the refresh. Look, I took the robe off. Admittedly, it ain't been in the wash yet because I don't think we're going to lose. I don't think I'm going to need it this weekend. And that's a little teaser as well for tomorrow when I do the final preview. Look, I got a debutant on tomorrow. I know I've teased it a few times, but I'm actually pretty excited to have this guy on. He's been on a few channels, so he's a good guy. Jazz Fusion. We are about to go winless until winter. What do you make of that, Paul?
Well, I suppose in Australia it's only a few more weeks. No, hang on. No, winter's miles away. No, that's not going to work for me, Jazz. No. I hope you mean the UK winter. But it's going to be. I'm sure we're going to get into it, but it's going to be a challenge for us. Our team's going to look different. Mm. I've got a couple of thoughts on how it might not be as bad as we think, but let's just keep my powder dry a little bit.
Keep the powder dry, indeed. Futility says Kuti will wash away all your sins. I'm loving this vibe out of Futility right now. This is very immaculate tonight, and very. You've been bringing the love that I think Romero needs. I think somebody needs to put their arm around him and say, "Look, we love you. We forgive you. We just need you to do better." We need you to not do that. And again, I said this yesterday, I don't like fans coming in and calling players idiots. Like, I think that's very, such a silly, trivial thing to do. Like, for one decision, that is a mistake. And I think that something people should remind themselves of is when a forward makes a mistake, or when a midfielder makes a mistake, it is what it is. It's usually, missing a shot or wayward pass. But when a defender makes a mistake, it's typically a foul, and sometimes in the penalty box. And unfortunately for this, it was both of that. And so while yes, it is a mistake and he needs to do better, I'm not upset with him. I still love him the same.
Remember the first 3 or 4 games of the season, he didn't even concede a foul.
Yeah, he's got 3 reds. He's got 3 reds in 3 years. And we're talking about a different subject here while I have this freaking thing pulled up, so I'll hide it. I just think it's interesting. He's had 3 red cards, and this is his 3rd season. That's really not that bad. I think you were being dramatic. Yes, those are mistakes. Those red cards, some might say. I would say one of those red cards was him preventing. Was it? Didn't he get sent off versus City? Or no, he only got sent off in the Champions League last year.
Champions League, yeah.
And then he got sent off in Conference League.
Shit, anyway.
Then he got sent off in the Conference League in his first season, I believe it was, against Vitesse or Tacos Ferreira.
Hang on, I could do research for you.
There we go. I'll run through the chat. Big up. Rich says, guarantee we won't be as fucked as everyone thinks we will. Ainge has got a plan. Ainge will have a plan. I know that for a factoid. I can't wait to whip out the victory kangaroo again, y'all. I can't wait. The victory kangaroo's coming back. Don't you worry. Futility says, to be fair, it's only that one thumbnail of him that makes him look approachable. Every other shot of him may as well be Pablo Escobar. There's also another photo I have of him on my phone where he's doing the hearts. And I love that photo as well because while he looks ever so approachable and beautiful, don't get too close to the dog. The dog may bite. Big up. Is Chewy there to kick ass and Chewy Squirrel? He's not here. Unfortunately, Craig, the guy coming. Look, I'm going to have to start dragging him in here because I think the people are here. If not for me, then they're here for Chewy at least. I would like to think. Big up Davo. Says, big up Jacob, sending immaculate vibes from London, Essex. Big up Davo. How you doing? All the way in London. Good evening. It's late out there for you, Davo. Hope you got them late night immaculate vibes as well. YouTube's is in the house. Big up Jacob. Nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to that game. Respect your lads and Big Ange. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of aside from the fact that Nicholas Jackson had a hat trick and it was a poo-poo hat trick. I'm a little bit ashamed of that, but I think you can use that shame and turn it into growth. That's what you got to do. Look, energy cannot be created nor stopped. It must continue on. I think that's how it works. Darren Wimbledon, evening all. Looking forward to the weekend. Need those immaculate vibes to get me there. Darren Wimbledon, I believe the newest member of United Spurs of America. How are you doing, Darren? We've got all the immaculate vibes you may need tonight. Tomorrow night will be 10 p.m. for the UK. That is 5 p.m. for New York time zone, etc. So hopefully see everyone there. Big up Talking Ball, Colin. How are you doing? Big up yourself right now, right in the face. Cursor says like secured. Big up Jacob. Big up Cursor, my goat. How are you doing? Chelsea Blue and Blue is in the house. Too blessed to get dressed, says Rich. I like this vibe because if you're in the confines of your own home, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to get dressed. Big up Jay says live. Yes, we are, Jay. How you doing? Rich says hippie. And we're all a little bit happy when we see the hippie. Seeing the hippie makes you happy.
I've got Romero's disciplinary record if you want to hear it.
I do.
Okay. So 2021-22. 8 yellow cards, no red cards. 2022-23, 10 yellow cards. It's a bit meaty. 1 red card. And another one in Champions League. And this year, 11 matches, 2 yellow cards, 1 red card. That is not the stats
3 red cards.
Someone who's insane.
3 red cards in 3 years is what I heard.
That's right.
And I feel like they make it out that like at least 3 times a year, we must plan for Cristiano Romero to not be in the lineup. It's kind of interesting. He didn't even get one in his first year. I thought he was sent off in the conference league. Guess I was wrong. Happy to be wrong. Faisal says we need a big reaction from the players after first league loss. It's a away game, so the solid side Wolves without Neto, hoping nothing stupid VAR decisions really. Look, I did. Paul, you know I like to do my research. I've been listening in.
I've got more research for you.
I've been ears to the ground. What's your research?
Just one more quick one. Here's
what is it?
For Argentina, he's got a total of 5 red cards and no red cards, and that includes the pressure of winning a World Cup.
No red cards for Argentina?
None.
Interesting that. Well, what I was going to say about my ears to the ground in regards to Wolves, I've been listening to see what they're saying, Paul, and what they're saying, the ops, I've been listening in. And what they're saying is that Wolves actually play like similar to Chelsea in the sense that they play better versus the teams that will play at them. And so if they are expecting us to play how we play versus Chelsea, they think they have a good chance of getting a result out of it because they think that that's going to play into their hands as well. So it's an interesting comparison to say that they're playing the similar way to Chelsea in the sense of they want to sit back, absorb the pressure, and hit us on the counter. Now with Neto, I feel like that is a very much bigger possibility. He's a fantastic player. But Excuse me, folks. But I, listening to what they're saying, it seems like they feel the same way everyone said about Chelsea, which is funny to me, Paul. This is something I want to say to these rival fans. It's funny to me. These things are funny to me, Paul, because it's just funny that I was told if you do this, then this will happen, and if you play this way against so and so, this will happen, and if they said the same thing at Arsenal. If you play this way at Emirates, this is what's going to happen. Look, did we get it wrong? I don't think so. Was the execution not good? Yes. The plan wasn't wrong. We had the perfect plan to rob a bank. We just fucked it up. The dudes that were supposed to execute the plan fucked it up. And that's just what happened. We got a little too excited. Romero was like the bad guy with the gun. He's like, I'm not going to shoot him, but I'm going to shoot him. And then he ends up shooting him. And everyone's like, damn it, we said no hostages. That's...
We said no one gets hurt, Romero.
We said no lives taken today.
The deal.
He's like, he was looking at me wrong, bro. He was looking at me wrong. I had to fucking smoke him.
I swear he's going to push the fucking button.
Oh, man. That's a fun. Hey, we already casted the Tottenham movie. Maybe that's the plot of the Tottenham movie. Tottenham tried to rob a bank, and the different characters. That'd be fun to see the different. Look, I'm not upset about Chelsea anymore. Some rivals and some people try to take and say this, that, and the other. Me when I was on, shout out Hissam for having me on his channel. Someone super chatted like $20 for him to send me the link so I could join on the show so they could all laugh at me. And then I just Missy Elliott it. I went on there, I flipped it and reversed it, and everyone's like, "Oh, you brought on." They told the guy who was calling me out. They said, you got to repay that super chat because you called him out and you ended up getting cooked. So it's fun. I get told a lot of things. They tell me a lot of things. They told me Romero can't defend. They told me Son's lost pace. They told me that if you play it like this at the Emirates, you're going to get smoked 4-1. They told me lots of things, Paul. All these people tell me all these things. I'm listening. I just ain't seeing what they're saying.
And you got Udogie in the vault. And he's just one more safety deposit box. God damn it, Udogie! Don't be greedy. We've got to go.
It's like one more stack of cash. I can get one more stack of cash. Hey, big up Chang.
That's Tottenham fuck up a robbery, bro.
Yeah, and Romero would be the guy. Yeah, Udogie taking just a little too much. Just a little too much. Romero said a guy was looking at me wrong, so I had to smoke him. And meanwhile, Son's just like, guys, keep it together. We had a perfect plan. And it all went awry. But speaking of perfect plan, Chang, I have this. Can I tease it? What I've got? Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but that's what I got. So I ain't going to say no more, but big up Chang. I'm trying to not be braggadocious about it. I wanted to post it, but Chang sent me a very beautiful gift in the mail, and I love it very much. I'm actually scared to take it out of the wrapper, so shout out Lil Wayne. But he gifted 5 United Spurs of America memberships here, so big round of applause for Chang. Dubs in the chat for Chang. Big up Chang. Big up Luke. You got a membership. Rowan Kumar, you got a membership. Luton Dan, you got a membership. Mark Cook, and just a girl who loves Spurs, Kate, was gifted a membership. So big up everybody who got one of those dubs in the chat for Chang every single time. But let's keep it rocking and rolling. Where was I at in the chat? But big up every single time, Chang, my buddy out there. He's spoiling me. He's spoiling me, but not like spoiled milk. Spoiling me like I'm a naughty child. Big up Rowan Kumar as well in the house. You were fighting with Sava today, Hippie. Were you on Sava's channel today?
Oh, I just thought I'd have a little. I wasn't on it. No, I was just in the comments trying to narrow some things down.
Did I miss a Sava Paul debate? Where the fuck was I? But if you're just in the chat,
I came away with a perfect understanding of the situation, so that's cool now.
Cool. Well, hey, as long as everything's cool. But big up Machiavelli says, I have a feeling we're going to demolish Wolves with our depleted squad. I don't know about demolish, but I still feel confident going in there and getting 3 points. And I'm saying 3 points, not a result. I'm saying 3 points because this is going to be a statement. The whole world's watching now to see. They've been waiting for us to fall off the fucking chair. They're seeing it. Are they going to be a big fat bozo slipping on the greasy floors trying to get up, right? You know, like the... Yeah, they're waiting to see how, so they can keep laughing at us. They want to keep their fingers pointing and laughing at us. But I think we're going to get up and we're going to take that chair and we're going to smack them upside the fucking head with it. That's what I want to see, just smack down a Royal Rumble. Big up Machiavelli. I feel the same way, though. Look, we're not even 24 hours before kickoff, and I'm still feeling tremendous about the result coming up. So, but big up Darren Wimbledon says, we support you, Jacob. This is great entertainment. Big up to you and the Aussie lackey. Very nice. Lackey, is that a nice way of saying it? You're my caddy. Like if I'm Tiger Woods, you're the guy who helps me with the clubs. I don't play golf, so I'm just going to blame you. Why didn't you give me the right driver to be a successful golfer?
I know I'm on the clock, boss, but can I have a sip of water? Is that okay? Or is that
30 more seconds, Paul? We're waiting for 38 minutes. Oh, Paul, someone reprimand this. That's no water for a week now.
Oh,
you made me do this.
Not again.
Big up Talking Ball Hydration Nation. Step up and hydrate yourself right now. Every single person in the Hydration Nation, pause for the cause. I'm pausing for the cause right now. Shout out Hydration Nation. Big up Colin. Rich is already here with his score prediction. Says 3-1 Spurs. Dyer brace and 1 for the BJ. This is something I didn't think about and then we haven't really talked about here on the channel, that I'm pretty disappointed. The last thing I want to say about Chelsea that I'm disappointed with, we only got to see a taste of Brendan Johnson, and I thought he was looking very lively. And because of the early red, he was the sacrificial lamb. So I feel bad for the kid, and he looked a little upset to be the one who had to go. I hope he gets a start, and I hope he's rearing to go. That's my thought. But what did you make of Brendan Johnson in the very limited appearance?
Kind of linking it in with the Wolves game, man. I think Wolves at their ground is quite a hard game. I think they're pretty good. They've had a bit of luck go against them, but they've also had some really good results there. So I always think we're going to win anyway. But after the Chelsea game, yeah, we've got injuries and no defence, but that first 15, 20 minutes with Brennan Johnson up front, with their midfield behind them, I thought there was starting to be some real understanding between the forwards there. You know, we basically had 2 shots going the goal, but there are also other things happening there. So I'm actually quite confident about the Wolves game, because I think if those 3 are firing off, I don't care about our defence, because I think we're going to start scoring a lot more goals than we have been. Maybe that will start this weekend.
Who knows? Eric Dyer leading the charge. It's a scary thought, to be quite honest. And you know what? With Harry Maguire, he was having a slight redemption arc there. I know he threw it all away yesterday in the Champions League. But before that, he was having himself a little character arc. And it was almost like, because he was saving Ten Hag's job in a couple jobs. So was Scott McTominay. And those are 2 folks they were trying to push out the door, much like we were trying to do with Eric Dyer and Hugo Lloris. And Giovanni Lo Celso and Ndombele. Like and then we called on him and he almost scored that goal against Chelsea. It would have been quite the redemption story for Eric Dyer. Machiavelli here is under the impression, says Dyer will be playing some of his best football until he leaves. Dyer's going in January to another club, but he's going to put a shift in for us until then so he can leave on a high. Do you think that Dyer could be leaving as soon as January, Paul?
Could be, and look, he has had patches of 6 to 8 games maybe where he's been decent. But the problem with Eric Dyer is they don't last. So if he's going in January and we get 6 games out of him or whatever we need if we do playing him, then I'm happy with that. Even if I think, you know, evil part of my brain thinks he just seems to turn it on a bit. You know, when there's a new manager around, or in this case, when he wants to put his value up for when he leaves. So I'm still not impressed with the guy.
Fair enough. Nick De La Torre says, it wouldn't surprise me if Phillips started or got a ton of playing time when someone got tired. Maybe Memo Vicario, I think that's a nod to Memo Ochoa there for the Mexican national team. Says, When Dyer forgets what he could do. Nick de la Torre, how are you doing? Big up. Good to see you. That's an interesting comment. Cream here. Big up, Cream. Dalla Bill, y'all says, hi, gents. Just know there's a serious Spurs fan boom happening here in South Africa, which first off, shout out South Africa. How you doing? People are praising our style and the balls on our team in that game. The ball's so big, South Africa love it. Talk to me nicely. The ball's heard around the world.
The clang.
The fucking
People's jelly jars are rattling off the shelves.
The dangly shadow casted over the entire globe. The balls of
Tottenham beat Thrash 4-1. Bloody hell, let's hope we don't win. Shit.
Big up, Cream. Love this comment. That makes me feel really good about what's going on here with Ainge. Big up, Big Steve, sub to Typical City. Big Steve says, you guys are first up this game week. Pressure. I don't know if what's that song? Pressure. Boom, boom. Does it have a resolution where it's like the pressure couldn't get me down type of thing? Because that's how I feel. Because fuck the pressure.
So you think that song ends with, but the pressure's all gone now.
But now my pressure's gone. Yeah, no more pressure. Woo! And it's like a happy ending of a song. Yeah. Big up Ben Kaufman checking in before bed. Immaculate vibes, everyone. Hope you have some immaculate dreams. Ben Kaufman with the Kaufy Company. Big up Paul G is in the house. How are you doing? Callum Roach says, I love the Federico Redondo links. Get him in part exchange Højbjerg for Bremer. Interesting shout there.
Just on the balls thing, though, I've heard, I hear people saying, look, we'd be laughing at Arteta or Klopp or any of these managers or Pep. We'd be laughing at them if they played a high line with 9 men, but they never would because they haven't got the bollocks to do it, have they? Ange is the only guy that's ever done it. Ever. Plum.
Balls heard around the world. That's what I'm going with from now on. Because my man Cream, look, he's saying people in South Africa are like, hang on, some guy did something no one ever did and didn't give a fuck everyone's opinion. That's fantastic. I mean, this guy, he was known, Ainge Postecoglou was known for when he left clubs, leaving a trail of like a cult following of fans are like, I'll love you wherever you go. And honestly, I was really curious to see what he would say after that Chelsea defeat. And he even was more Ainge Postecoglou than I thought he was going to be. You know what I mean? He was more of what I think he is than what I thought he was going to be. I'm trying to explain it in the best way I can. I don't know if words are doing me justice here, but like, I was like, what is he going to say? Oh yeah, we fucked it. Romero or mate, we got it wrong today. Put a couple more prawns on the barbie. Because you call them prawns, right? That's what you said. You don't call them shrimp.
Yeah.
As I said that, seven
how
people,
we say it.
7 people left as well when I did my Aussie accent, so that's very lovely. But my feelings about what he said just validated how I felt. And I feel like a lot of Spurs fans, they may not have felt that same way. So what he said probably doubly pissed them off, and it baffled the rivals. So to me, this man is not only shaking up everything, even on a loss, he's still shaking up everything. And it's actually like one of the greatest things I'm being a part of right now. I'm just enjoying the hell out of it. Like, I didn't think I could lose to Chelsea and still feel this confident and great about my team.
Oh, that's amazing.
And about our outlook. And there was a video from TNT Sports that came out with Rio Ferdinand and Ainge talking about the philosophy and how he plays. And he's saying he's less concerned about what's going on here. And when people are concerned about like the scoreboard and the score, and they're not concerned about playing the style, like, oh, well, it's only 2 minutes till halftime. Let's just kind of sit back and just ride this out. He said, no, fuck that. That's when we need to go. And it's just something I can definitely get behind. Like I've said here on this platform several times that we are starting to see the revolution from the academy, the U21s, U18s, Papa John's League Trophy, whatever that competition is called, the other academy that plays, they are starting to play the same system that we are as well. These center backs with the ball, pressing high with the ball, fullbacks tucking in, inverting, hugging in, and kind of almost being secondary midfielders or dropping into the six. And so it's really interesting to see this. So that's why in my prediction, which we're about to do, because we're about halfway through the show here, I'm not predicting Eric Dyer to start. Because I think there are better profiles on this squad who can play center back in a more effective role than Eric Dyer can.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but I might be in agreement with you here, Jacob, even though we haven't discussed this. But I've got a couple of ideas that I'm mulling through, and my spoiler is none of them include Eric Dyer either.
Who would have thunk it? Neither one of our plans include fucking Eric Dyer. Big up Kuva. Kuva.
His two most praiseworthy advocates on Spurs channels. Shock horror. Don't pick Eric Dyer.
Who would have thunk it? Look at us. Big up Kuva, my man. Says big up Jacob and Paul and all in the chat. We got knocked down, but we get up again. You're never going to keep me down. And we keep fighting on with a dislocated shoulder. But I've seen some fighters win with one good arm before.
Yeah, and you know, like Ange is the way Ange is. I mean, people in England don't understand what he's had to come through, and I'm not like exaggerating here or being some weirdo lefty, but a Greek migrant that plays football, he would have absolutely had God knows what ripped into. For a start, anyone that plays football or soccer in Australia gets called either like a real racist term or, you know, homophobic. It's still that bad here. So even though it's a really popular game and loads of people play it, and anyone that says Australians don't know about football, they're not thinking of the right people. It's just still looked down on from you know, media and everyone else. They're all into their rugby league and all that. If you're a proper man, you wouldn't be playing football. It really is like that. So for him to break out of that to get a chance overseas, and basically the only way he could have done that, which is what he did, was win the Asian Cup with Australia. If he hadn't won that, I don't think he would have escaped Australia. Then to do what he did, and then as soon as he's out, bang, he flies. Yokohama, Celtic, and now Tottenham.
You know, there was something before we do our predictions on Wolves and really start teasing that. There was something on your stream, it was for me this morning, that I was listening to, and I really liked, you gave an example of when Ainge still did what we saw on Monday, but with, I believe it was Yokohama.
Yeah.
You said that. Do you care to share that, or should I pull up the clip and then play it and you hit me for copyright?
Yeah. So the situation was it was the last day of the season in the J League. Yokohama, run by Ange, is top. They're playing second place Tokyo. Now Tokyo do need to win the game 4-0. I'll tell you that. But then, like, you know, you might think, oh, let's place it safe, just see this game out. No, Ange went on the attack. They went 2-0 up, but then they got their goalkeeper sent off. So they're down to 10 men with some part-timer between the sticks. And you think maybe then play it safe. Because, okay, like the other team have got to score 6 goals to win the championship. So, you know, no, they went on the attack and won the game 3-0. So when it was all on the line, he did it and he won.
What a beast. I love that story. Which, again, shout out to Hotspur Hippie. Go subscribe over there if you haven't yet. But big up, Ellie. We're surrounded by royalty right now. One of Tottenham's very own says, highlights, biggest, big up. And Paul, long time no speak. Oh, no, we spoke earlier. Big up, Ellie. Jay says, good opportunity for Ashley Phillips and Dorrington. I would have no issue with them starting despite lack of experience. No Dyer, please. I do expect Dorrington to be on the bench. I believe Ashley Phillips will be getting a start. But I don't think it's going to be Eric Dyer starting next to him. Because Ashley Phillips plays the same position as Dyer, same position as Romero. Ashley Phillips, at least from my studies and my looking into when we signed him from Blackburn and his time with the England national team and his time with our U21 academy, he's played right center back. And then even in one of the academy matches, he's shifted to right back. So That's where I've seen him operating, and he can operate there. Now, I don't know to this level if he can. We'll find out on Saturday. But what I know about is I feel like Ashley Phillips, he's been in and around the squad enough. He's made the bench a few times, just hasn't made that debut yet. But I think it's about to happen. I think he's going to get the start.
I think we better do this lineup, man, because I think I'm getting a strong feeling we're going to have the same back line. You know, that's my prediction.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
You know what? I'm going to write mine down just so you know I'm not bullshitting. But because I don't think many people would pick what I've picked, but because you're such an idiot, I think you might actually pick the same back line as me.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. Look, there's a lot of positions in which we got some question marks. Kamikaze football. Big up Luca. Big up. Who else did I think I skipped over? Tony D, Adrian Schroka, Timmy L. How you doing? How's everyone doing tonight? I've seen around 70 people checking in on a Thursday evening. Hope y'all are all doing well. Thursday evening for me. Hope you're doing well. Hit that like if you don't mind, or don't. You don't have to do anything. I don't like. It's all good. Let's keep looking. Big up Lucas says, big up Jacob and Paul, the first ever Spurs fan on YouTube to push Ainge to be our manager. Hi to the chat. Big up, Luca. Hey, first place I ever heard of Postecoglou was from Paul, so I don't know that much. Clang Postecoglou, Balls of Steel. Could that be a documentary? That sounds like the name. Clang Postecoglou. Clange Postecoglou. The Balls of Steel. I love that very much. You think Mbappe's going to the Premier League? Some people are saying Mbappe to Chelsea, Mbappe to Liverpool.
He wouldn't go to Chelsea, would he? Why would he go to Chelsea? Well, I could
There's one big reason.
One big
reason. Bag full of reasons. We'll see.
Liverpool. I don't know, man.
They have 5 forwards right now that could start for pretty much everybody in the league. And
maybe Spurs. Why not Spurs?
Could you imagine? He just last summer said this is impossible. No way. This is impossible. Because Spider-Man, Tom Holland is his friend. They were at some award ceremony. He was like, "Hey man, come to Spurs," and he was like, "Ha ha," and just ha ha. Like, who the fuck is that guy?
I will never go to Spurs.
This is when we were starting our struggles with Conte, and he was just like, "Why would I fucking go there?" But maybe under Ange Postecoglou is that X factor that could get Mbappé. Trying to do Mbappe and Tottenham together, that was pretty awful. Big up South African Spurs. They like our fighting spirit with 9 men, and we were still the better team. Big up Ren. Good morning. Says I really want. Yeah.
Well, that's the funny thing. We had Chelsea rattled with 9 fucking men on the pitch, didn't we? It wasn't enough in the end, but
it's like that. If you've ever done combat sports,
when we go to Stamford Bridge, man, and they're facing 11 of us, what's going to be in their heads?
It's like if you've ever been in combat sports, Paul, and you fucking boom, 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 you lay a good 3-piece combo on buddy, and you put all your mustard behind it, and they're just like still marching Michael Myers treatment, ding, 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 just marching forward. No matter what you do, you can just momentarily slow them down, but it's inevitable. And they really look like they were like, we gave them our best punches and they still coming at us. What the fuck is going on? And I love that. Fuck what you think. Pigs can't fly. Well, look at that. There goes one. That's how I've always lived my life. So like, how can I not appreciate it when my club is embodying like my very moral compass? You know, my mother told me take Spanish. I'll use it. Now I live in a predominantly Spanish speaking city right here on the border of a Spanish speaking country. And instead, what did I do? I took German because I was told I'm going to need Spanish. I said, nah, fuck that. I'm taking German. Now, in retrospect, wasn't the greatest of choices, but
maybe not the wisest choice, eh?
Maybe not, but hey, you live and you learn. That's what I want. And now, if I'm presented the opportunity to choose a language to learn, I will choose Spanish. So there you go. Even with five
Unless
players,
I
we would
say
still have to
learn
crack.
Spanish, Jacob. No, fuck it, I'll learn Chinese.
Now I'm learning. Yeah. No, I'll probably try and learn Korean so I could speak to Sonny. And I could be
Oh,
like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then he'd be like, oh, hey, you speak the language of love. And then he'd probably be like, security, get this large man away from me. It's all those prawns that give him the balls to do what he does, says Ren. Are prawns the secret to the Aussie strength, the Aussie... Are prawns a big part of your diet or what?
no, they're too expensive.
Really?
Like everything else. We're flat out getting meat at the moment.
Ainge just prawn in the game of life.
Well, I'll tell you what, something about Australian food, though, it's got more green things in it than you lot. Because your food's all orange, whereas ours is like luscious and green and bountiful. I ain't eating goddamn broccoli. Do I look like a cow?
My wife made a broccoli dish last night, and she was like, why are you scooping out the broccoli? It's all like mixed together, and I was like, I'm gonna just throw that big piece of broccoli back throw that back in the pot. I don't need that. But I should eat that broccoli. Look, I'm not gonna get distracted. Let's do it. It is time. Let's build our squad here, Paul. Let's build our squad, y'all. In the chat, obviously, in the chat, get involved, vote. Let us know what you think them boys gonna do.
I've got my defensive prediction ready. I've got it here. I've got it all written out. So we'll see. Where are we starting? Up front, eh?
Yeah, let's start up top because I think that'll be the easiest place to begin. Big up Lemmy. Big up everybody in the chat. I'm going to take that chat down and I'm going to scroll to the bottom here. Big up Ian Ferguson. I'm going to scroll real quick and make sure I catch up. Big up Daniel E. How you doing? Ren. Jacob is that is pathological demand avoidance. And I also have, what did I do? What did I avoid? But you're probably right. I do it all the time. My wife's like, oh, that must be your ADD kicking in. I'm like, huh? I didn't even hear what you said.
Box me. Don't box me.
Don't tell me where my attention's deficit at.
This is supposed to be no casualties.
No casualties, Cootie.
Tell me to learn Spanish.
No casualties, Cootie. Big up Ryman as well. Says evening, Yakub and Paul. Big up Ryman. Let's start here.
I like it, brother.
Let's see. Sonny through the middle. It's got to be. It has to be, right? I think that's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
All right. And then Kulusevski seems like that's a pretty easy one as well.
Well, hang on. Who was that guy that scored the volley that was offside up in that position against Chelsea?
Shut the fuck up. Left wing, Paul. Are we thinking maybe Richarlison should be the guy? Brennan Johnson? No. I'm saying Brennan Johnson. I think it's pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
They don't have a Brennan. Oh, there he is. There he is. All right.
Yeah, that'll do.
Hang on, let me make these faces bigger. There we go.
And those three, they're the key to us winning the game because they look like they were getting something good happening. And we're going to be leaky at the back. I don't care. These guys, I think, have got a load of goals waiting to fire off.
Oh, that's right, Futility. I just forgot. You were right. Richie just had surgery. Why did I even think that? I have that star. That's a tweet I have saved for us to talk about, Paul. And I didn't even. I just. Whew. Big up Ellie.
Hey.
With the big dono to the channel. Ellie, just a girl who loves Spurs. How you doing? Says, I want Ainge to stay till he is as old as Roy Hodgson, and our trophy cabinet will be stacked with so many trophies they would have to make an extension. And a gold statue with a kangaroo. For the super chat, I'm whipping out the Boozeroo. That one, that kangaroo's allowed win, lose, or draw, but the small victory kangaroo only comes out for the victory. But Ellie, this is a major dub. She says, get a gold statue of a kangaroo with a scripture to dare. is to didgeridoo. Look, our motto is to dare is to do, Paul. And what the fuck did we do versus Chelsea? We dared to do. And it just didn't work out. We had to go.
We aimed high.
Aim for the moon and you'll land among the stars. I think it's reverse, actually, scientifically. Like, you got to aim for the stars and you'll probably land on the moon.
I think that could, it could well be one of those, a defining moment in our season. Because in the face of defeat, everyone was trying, the players, the fans, Ange, and it was all together. And the players know we've got their back. They must have felt 10 feet tall, even though they were pissed off they lost.
Look, Ellie, I feel it in my soul that Ange Postecoglou is going to get us something. And not only will he get us something, but he will get us to a point. I hope he stays forever too. I've already said I give him a 10-year right now. Extended by 6 years. Tom, you're here for 10 years to reshape and redo everything how we do it here. Whatever you say goes. Give him the keys. Let the man drive. If you're the best barbecuer at the barbecue, get the loser off the sticks. It's time to let Ange cook. And honestly, we're just on the precipice of it. It's like you're on a long road trip, Paul. I know you've done a lot of road trips. It's like when you're on one of them long road trips. You're not close to your destination yet, but you can smell that the air is different. You can smell, you can feel that the elevation is higher. You can feel that we are on the precipice of seeing the big city that we are traveling to. We're just a little bit outside of town right now. So, Ellie, I just want to say thank you so much for the very generous donation to the channel. Big up yourself right now. Thank you so much. Double dipping, and I ain't talking queso or salsa. You're a YouTube chat member, and you are as well hitting us with a super chat. So thank you very much. And honestly, I'm all for kangaroo statues. I would love a kangaroo statue outside of my home. I would like one in my garden. I would like one on my patio. Even as decor back here, I would love a golden kangaroo statue, but that's neither here nor there. But big up, Ellie. Thank you so much for the dono. Timmy here has got Brennan, Sonny, and Kulu as their front three as well. Let's see what Kuva's got for his front three. Sonny and Johnson up front. Oh, he's saying a five-man midfield. Whoa. With just two up front. Kuva's shaking the coconut tree. Whoa. Is he daring? Is he daring to do right now? Is that what he's doing? Big up Kuva. Press very high and keep the play in their half. Look, Kuva, this is a good point to bring up, and it reminded me of a point I wanted to make. That regardless of who's playing at center back for us, left back or right back or any back, even when the 6 drops in between them center backs sometimes like they do, when that happens, excuse me, not when that happens, but I think because of where we're at with the injuries and suspensions, 3 changes are inevitable in our back line. That's inevitable. And I just think that our first line of defense has to be that front, has to be the high press, has to be these 3 people whose faces I have on the screen right now, has to be them pressing their man and the second man, the third pass. Then that's where we need these guys in the midfield who we're going to pick. Look, I think James Madison is going to be fit. So I'm picking James Maddie, the baddie, right there in this.
Yep.
I mean, I could move him up so we're like less so it looks more like realistic. But for the sake of everyone's faces still being there, big up Kuva, switching things up like crazy. Yeah,
you've just got big heads on a pitch, and you're saying let's make this look more realistic.
Hey, only realistic can be explained in reality, or some shit. Midfield, I think it's going to be a pretty easy choice here in the midfield. We're going Big Boss Basuma, the Mac Daddy Rolls Royce truck. He's the Mercedes-Benz SUV. You know those ones in the movies? They're the Mercedes-Benz, the big black SUVs, the box ones. That's what Basuma's like, one of them things. And then in the midfield, look, I'm going to say Papa Mate Sarr gets the start. But, Paul, for you, do you think it's going to be Sarr? Do you think maybe Bentancur could come in and do a
No, I
little
don't think
something,
so yet. I
something?
mean,
No?
he held up well the last bit of the Chelsea game, but I think the first 15 minutes of the Chelsea game was so good, and it was these guys doing it. I want to see more of this.
Okay. Okay. Now, this is where things are going to get tricky. Oh, so tricky. Sorry, y'all. I did misspeak about Richarlison. Yeah, I'm sorry. Everyone's cooking me now. Why y'all cooking me? I know. I forgot. Just a momentary lapse of
I ain't
judgment.
gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
But it's all good. Let's see. Where are we at? What are y'all saying? Højbjerg is center back for Rowan. We're not there yet, but we're gonna say Pedro Porro's right back, so we can at least knock out. Let's take care of the ones that we know.
Yeah. All
Let's
right.
take care of the ones that we know. Pedro Porro.
Vicario.
This club, these players, you can change the coach, but this situation, it will not change. This, I can assure you.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable, this club. Look, this is where the question marks are. I know rival fans have been, oh, no James Maddison as well. Look, the James Maddison thing, I think he's been hurt worse before, and he's still played. He left a match earlier on in the season. I can't remember which one it was. He left in a boot on one of those little wheelie carts, and you know what I'm talking about, where you put your knee in it and you fucking wheel around. Yeah,
all the tweets are going around. Oh no! And then next match, there he is.
The next match, there he is going, scoochie. And I think it was before the Arsenal game. And then it was like, oh my God, he's going to miss the Arsenal game or something like that. I think it might have been. And then you know what he did in that Arsenal match? He essentially took Buhu Saka and he made him cry more. And now he's a shell of who he is. And even Arsenal fans are starting to question, is he still the guy that we can count on? So interesting that.
Beautiful.
Love to see it. Big up Boxing Kangaroo in the house, excuse me. Robin, that's right. Højbjerg is brilliant in the role, says Ellie. The Heart got an angiogram. I don't know. Jazz, you're always so clever that sometimes it goes over my head. I'm going to be real honest. Jazz Fusion, anytime you're here, you say a lot of clever stuff that I'm going to say 70% I understand and 30% I'm like, maybe if I was smart like Kuva, I would have understood that. Because Kuva's well-versed in, like, stuff like that. But big up Boxing Kangaroo. Big up Ellie. Big up Zapur is here. So what's the news on Van de Ven? Looks like scan's going to be tomorrow. Some of the stuff, I do have tweets. I do have tweets and twats saved up. But look, I'll share that real quick just for you, Zapur. I'll derail what we're doing and I'll tell you that I found this. It says medical experts have told us that the worst case, and this is from Alistair Gold, by the way. So Spurs Watch just posting what Ali Gold said. Quote, medical experts have told us that the worst case scenario for a hamstring does not require surgery and is around 12 weeks of recovery. And that even grade 3 complete muscle tears. Even if Van de Ven was to have such a severe hamstring injury, sometimes it does not require an operation. So they're saying, even though they announced that he's not going to need surgery, they're still saying it can be a grade 3 tear and not require surgery. So that is still a possibility. And that's what they're saying this very well could be. Postecoglou will deliver an update on Friday. So tomorrow is Friday. He's going to on Friday. Deliver an update on Friday as to exactly what type of hamstring injury Van de Ven has. And then whether he is at the top end of that 12-week mark or if he's got a shorter recovery time. Look, I don't want to rush him back. I'm just, you know, what they say, thoughts and prayers. I fucking hate this photo, if I'm honest.
Horrible.
It brings me a lot of pain.
Yeah.
It brings me a lot of pain. I have it saved on my computer for when I'm wanting to be a masochist, when I want to hurt myself.
Well, he'll be back.
You know what's insane? I remember sharing it here. Al Hilal, where Neymar went, he tore his ACL, and it was a photo like this. Imagine Spurs admin took this photo and they made a graphic with that photo in it and says, "Get well soon, Mickey." And it's him on the floor going, "Ah!" His fucking foot's like this.
It's the most painful fucking thing ever.
Oh my goodness. I was just like,
Best wishes.
I
The fucking leg.
I think about that graphic sometimes. I'm like, Bro, what was that social media admin doing? Like, what? Imagine Spurs take this, they crop out the background, they put it over like one of those white backgrounds, and it says "Get well soon, Mickey," and it's him just like, ah. Oh, that's what they did, and it was Neymar with he's holding up his knee because it's falling off the bone, and they put that central in that "Get well soon, Neymar." Thoughts and prayers. Oh my God. Oh, that's too funny. I hate that fucking photo.
Well, you come home one day and your house is burnt down, and your mates whip together and send you a photo of your house on fire. Good luck with the rebuild. We're thinking of you.
The realest giant severed head stream. I like it. Big up Kuva. Madison is a doubt, says Jazz Fusion. I ain't doubting him. He's gonna play. Charlie Giza saying Dyer there is gonna start. We have 3 positions.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch, son.
Ooh. Let's start at the left back. All right, chat. Yeah. These are 3 positions that we're going to need your help. We're going to need your input. All right. I see 66. Real quick, we're over an hour. We are over an hour. There's 66 likes and 100 votes. Why it used to be only 30 people voted in the poll and didn't like the video. Now we're getting upwards of 40. Yesterday was 40 as well. Today it's 40. I don't know why y'all 2 more people just voted and ain't no more likes either. So what's going on here? What are they doing to me? Why y'all don't want to like the video, huh? Cello guy is all about those variables, independent and dependent. You know it, Drunk Vigo. And I don't get cooked. I do the cooking. Oh, big up Ellie. Another dono to the channel. Big up Ellie, just a girl who loves Spurs, being just handing out the blessings this evening. Everyone spam the heart emoji in the chat. I see it. I see the hearts. I see who's ever smashing them hearts. Big up. I'm going to heart that super chat right there. Big up, Ellie. Thank you so much, first and foremost, for the generosity. Says, Conte also said they're used to it here. They're used to it here. Don't play for something important. They don't want to play under the pressure or the stress. Tottenham story is this. 20 years and there was an owner and they never won something. Why? I did that in the Conte voice. I don't think you asked for it, Ellie, but there you go. I don't think you asked for it, but there you go. Hey, you hit me with 2 very beautiful orange super chats. Orange makes me feel good.
I start arcing up when I see quotes like that. I mean, he's just shitting on us, isn't he?
You know, at the time, I felt what he said, and I was like, did he lie, though? Did he lie? And now I look back at that, I'm like, we were in a toxic relationship, and they were shitting on us, and we were accepting it and feeling it the same way. Yeah. And so for me, I'm so fucking glad to not be in. And that's why when I go on these rival channels and they're like, oh, are you really okay with Mr. Postecoglou and the way that he did it? Fuck yes, I am. Because guess what? We didn't sit there and camp back and end up conceding like we've done versus, who was it, Sheffield? Last year. It was one of those teams that got relegated. Southampton? We lost to Southampton. I remember that.
To Southampton, yeah.
Horrible. Atrocities. Absolute atrocities. All right, I'm seeing in the chat, I'm seeing Emerson Royale left back. What are we saying for the left back, y'all? Ellie says, can you say my super chat? Oh, look, I did it in the Conte impression, and I just saw her comment that says, Jacob, can you say my super chat in the Conte impression? That was brilliant. Last line you read. This club, these 20 years, and this owner, they never won something. Why? You ask yourself this. You can change the manager, but you can never change the situation. This, I promise you. There you go. Big up, Ellie. There you go. I'll do it for the super chat. I'll do it for the love that I got for you. Ren says, now do it in your Bane voice. This club, these players, they were born in the darkness. They are not afraid of the darkness. That's there you go. Yeah, that was for free as well. Big up, Ellie. Thank you so much for Donovan. Did you? So you saw that? I'm still thinking of right now in the back of my head about Al Hilal and the photo of Neymar in agonizing pain because he just tore his ACL, MCL, PCL. He's like, holding up my leg, and they used that. It's just absolutely funny. Big up, Ellie. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. Futility saying left back Royale. Everyone's saying left back Royale. Or are we saying left back? Andy Wynn. Big up, Andy Wynn says Emerson Royale left back. That was the Chef Boyardee accent, says Sleepy Mocha. Oh, no. Are y'all going to cook me? Emerson Royale left back from Charlie Giza. Everyone's saying Emerson Royale left back. I think we know where we're going. Eltel Cocarel, big up, says good afternoon and good morning from my evening nighttime to you, Jacob and Paul. Big up, Jose. Hope you're doing well, good sir. Big up. Now that is why this is the best stream on the internet. Big up, Ren. That's a big compliment. I see you around everywhere, and you come here and you flatter me. So thank you so much, Ren. And again, good morning, and I hope you're having a great day. Conte's way of saying Levy is a loser. I did like it. I did like that he called the club out and he put it on the main. I mean, think about how viral, Paul, that rant was. They made cartoons of it. They made memes of it. It was like one of the most circulated things there for a while.
Yeah, and he'll probably have a resurgence when he joins his next club, wherever that might be. They'll trot it out again, and you know.
Big up Bob from Down Under says, good day, Jacob and Paul. First chance to catch you live. Loving the content. Ainge doing a Crocodile Dundee. Oh, that's not a knife. Now this is a knife. You like that one, Paul? Was that better than my shrimps on the Barbie?
Yeah, that's exactly how we talk here.
Why don't we put a few shrimps on the Barbie? It's like that's not a knife. And this is a knife. Knife. That's how you say it. Say knife.
Knife.
Yeah. I'm pretty spot on. Knife.
Because you were giving it a bit too much oi earlier. So just a little bit less oi. So it's knife, but it's not knife.
Knife.
No.
That's a nice knife. Knife. All right, anyway, we're going to move on. Big up, Bob Down Under. Glad you could be here live, buddy. I am later than usual, so maybe that is why you were able to catch it live. But big up every single time. If you are live or you are watching on playback, hit that like button. Or don't. It is a free universe. You are free to do as you please. Only thing mandatory here on the channel is Immaculate Vibes. Big up, Mike Doss says, you should play a 3-7 with that elite high line. What do you think about that, Paul? We did do that on one of our predicted lineups where, if you remember, when I was like, and Basuma's going to drift up here. This guy's going to go over there. Madison will roam over there.
I think that's called foreshadowing.
Yeah.
For the Chelsea game, we knew it. It was in the ether somewhere. You just channeled it.
Okay, so we're going with Emerson Royale so we can end this thing on. My wife wants me to make dinner already, so we're going to run through this. But Emerson Royale at our left back, correct?
Yes, I'm going with that.
Run Devil Run. I believe you used to be something else because I remember this profile photo says, when Romero comes back after 3-match ban, I think we can play left back Udogie, Phillips, and Romero, right back Poro. I think this will be good going for us until January. What do you think? I kind of alluded to the fact that I think Ashley Phillips plays the right-sided center back. It will be interesting because if he can play the left-sided center back, then I actually give more chance that Eric Dyer does start. If Eric Dyer starts, I predict Ashley Phillips to start at the left side next to him because we're going to need someone who has some pace. And I think our other options to fill in don't have that pace.
Right.
And I did hear someone throw out, this was absolutely wild. They said, as a center back, maybe we put in Mr. Bentancur. And I was like, what the fuck?
He's just fucked his knee, man. You just want to send him straight back to the stretcher? Pack him in. Come on, put a boot in. Rodri, come on. No, man.
That's not a knife. This is a knife. Your bass baritone is so smooth and luxurious, like warm honey. Oh, kind of sticky too. I like that. Look, who are we saying for the left-sided, or should we do right-sided center back first?
Right side, we've got. I'm going Phillips.
Well, let's just go with the one, left side, right side. Let's put all that aside. You like that? Let's put side. Let's put that aside, and let's just say two center backs, regardless of who. Give me your first one, chat. So, chat, I want y'all to give me your first center back. Who is the first center back on this list? Doesn't have to be right or left. Let's just figure out who's two center backs we're going to start. Big up Ellie says we drew with Southampton 3-3. We were 3-1 up with 15 minutes to go. And what did we do when we were 3-1 up with 15 minutes to go? We fucking camped back, sat back, brought the pressure on. And what's funny, Paul, is people say in this same fucking team with those same fucking players who did exactly what Ellie's saying, we should use those same players and do exactly what we did with them last season. And that's what they want me to believe. That's what Spurs fans are telling me we should have done. That's what rival fans are telling me we should. Sit back and defend with those players. Emerson Royale, Højbjerg, Dyer. When last year they were on those squads where we sat back with 15 minutes to go and we conceded twice and drew with a future relegated team. And then Leicester, same thing, future relegated team. We got our asses whooped. This is my point. That when I go around and I say, I know for a fact...
Man City, we were 2-0 up at half time, weren't we? Sat back, 4-2.
We were up 2-0 versus City, and then they put 4 on our head, and then Harry Winks, the fucking snake, went and liked a Twitter twat about it, saying, never doubt Pep Guardiola. Fuck you, Harry Winks. Enjoy the championship. But anyway, I'm just saying, look, this is why I would never say we should have sat back. Look at who was out there. They couldn't defend last year when we sat back. They couldn't defend anytime when we didn't even sit back and we just absorbed pressure. And you want us to do both of those things with these players. It drives me insane. I can't understand it. Like, that there's actually, like, I was just on a stream and they said, oh, you should have done this and you would have gotten that. All right, and if I go in the casino, I should have won a whole bunch of money, but that's not always how it works, is it? I don't always walk into the casino and fucking hit big. Sometimes I go in there and lose hundreds of dollars. That's my point. You could say, oh, I know how this goes. I know how that goes. I've seen this before. But what you haven't seen before is what we fucking did. I'm more proud of that than I am about if we would have done what everyone said we should have done, and we fucking tried to defend and sit back with Royale, Højbjerg, Dyer, Davies, don't matter. I know Davies wasn't a part of it. But
Chelsea would have just been going ping, poo, ping for 40 minutes. Poo, ping, in the top, in between the gaps, for 40 minutes. There's no bloody way we would have hung on. No way.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening personally. But hey, everyone's allowed their own opinion, whether I agree with it or not. You're allowed to think we should have done this, that, and the other. But what I do know is what everyone said we should have done wasn't leading to us getting a win. It was to just hold on. Just hold on. It's like we've won the first few rounds. Just hang on, and maybe we'll get the decision at the end of the boxing match. I just don't agree with that philosophy, personally. Big up Avion says, Romero's so good on the ball, he probably could play left side center back with ease and keep Phillips in his most comfortable right back position. Interesting. So when Romero comes back from the 3-match ban, which, look, whatever we do versus Wolves, just know after this international break, we have fucking Villa and City. 2 very good teams who are very much on the attacking front foot. So will be interesting to see. These are going to be the biggest tests coming up. The big 3, I'm going to call it the big 3 test. How do we fare without Romero? We only have to do 1 test without Udogie. Luckily, he'll be back after this 1-match suspension. Andy Wynn says, James Madison to be announced. Injuries, Mickey Van de Veen out until January, says Andy Wynn. Look, I showed a little bit of the news on who knows what's going to be. The scans we should know tomorrow, is what they're saying. We should know more tomorrow. Hill Messi center back. He's got the high pickup utility. Zapur says Phillips for his first choice center back. I love that, Jacob. You have found your new vocation, impressionist, man. Well, funny. You cracked me up. Hey, big up, Ellie. Appreciate the super chat. You wanted me to do it in the Italian voice, and I did it without you even asking. I knew it. Phillips. Everyone's saying Phillips except Charlie Giza says, I have a feeling Ainge won't start Phillips. So who's your choices, Charlie Giza? Who's your choices?
Who are you starting, Jacob? Who's one of yours? Because I'm going with Phillips.
I'm going Ashley Phillips. Throw the fucking kid in there. He's big. He's been training with us. All the signs are pointing to he's going to be involved.
He's fast.
Why not? Why not? He's big, he's fast, and he's good with the ball.
Yeah.
Which is the three things that they like in a center. Now, as far as his defense, I would rather see Ashley Phillips go out there and struggle with Wolves than see Eric Dyer do anything with Wolves. I'd rather see what we got in this kid, and if there's a potential that he slots in, has an amazing game, and it's seamless transition. Then we're going into the next match thinking, hey, this guy might be able to put in a shift. And then you never know. But even if he goes out there and he fails miserably, I'd rather see that than seeing Eric Dyer. Bring Eric Dyer. Yeah. If he goes out there and he does 2 Eric Dyer mistakes, like Eric Dyer will do if he starts, if he goes out there and does 2 mistakes, okay, bring Eric Dyer in. The kid's obviously not ready. And I'm better with that than saying, look at this old piece of shit that we got. Let's see if it gets a tune out of it. We know it ain't got no tune. It just makes noise.
I mean, even if, whatever about Eric Dyer, but you know that you're going to need one of your centre-backs to be able to run back now and then because we're going to get caught out. And Dyer can't do that. Even if he was good elsewhere, he can't do that. And I think, above all, Phillips, I haven't really seen much of the guy, but if he's quick enough to do that, I'm just happy with that, and anything else is a bonus.
Yeah, I agree with you. So they're saying Højbjerg with Dyer. Kuva is what Kuva is saying with Charlie Giza. Luca agrees with Kuva. At dinner, asked the Wharf to pass the North. I like that. Rather see Lyon Foster or another U21 than Dyer. It'd be Dorrington, I think, before Lyons Foster. Lyons Foster has kind of been playing left back. He's kind of, like, from what I've seen in the academy, he's been playing left back the last few matches. It'll be interesting to see. Højbjerg the Viking with Phillips the Cheetah, says Ellie. To start with Phillips and have Watkins and Harland in the next match, I'd be surprised, says Luca.
Well,
Jay says, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, shall I tell you my other centre-back?
Yeah.
Højbjerg.
Well, there we absolutely agree, because I'm putting Højbjerg as one of my center backs as well.
So we're both going Højbjerg and Phillips. There you go.
Boom.
I think
Is Ashley Phillips even in this? Let's see.
I think Højbjerg had a great game, and you could see how much it meant to him. So stick him in again, and then if it works out as well as it could do in my illusional mind, even though it's not the same as Romero and Van der Ven, it's not a huge downgrade, really. Pierre can put himself about a bit, and he's good at tackling, and Phillips is the fast guy to sweep up. So it might not be as disastrous as you think.
There it is. I kind of like it. I think it'll be all right versus Wolves. I think it'll be all right. Again, I got a preview tomorrow, normal time, 10 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. New York time. Not sure what that is for Paul, but I got to guess, Paul, you're always welcome to join. But we are going to wrap it up there. That is what mine and Paul's R11 is looking like for Wolves. If you're watching this back on playback, please let me know in the comments down below what you would change, if anything, or if you agree with Paul and I as the mastermind tactitional geniuses that we are, who enjoy 3-7.
And if he doesn't do this, Andrew's made a mistake.
I love to see it. But look, y'all, this has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this show. I showed some love there at the beginning, but we are here on an hour and a half, so I am going to wrap it on up. I'm going to find some beautiful place to send you to. But while I do that, Hotspur Hippie is where you can find Paul. And do you have something coming up on your channel that you want to tell us about? Look, I got some questions. because I guess you announced it, but someone was asking me, when is Perriman on the channel?
Oh yeah, well that's Steve Perriman is coming on the day after the West Ham game, I think. It's like something like the 8th or 9th of December, and it's at 8 p.m. UK time. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I'll be doing that from Tottenham, New South Wales.
Tottenham, New South Wales. You hear that, everybody? You can find the Hotspur Hippie right over there. Steve Perriman will be joining him in December. So there's the answer to that. But before
it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. Like I bag the internet and the way the world's all shit these days. But on the upside, I'm going to get to have a chat with Steve Perriman. I had his poster on my fucking wall. I mean, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
No, that is badass. That is one of those badass. Cook the pizza. I'm about to go cook the pizza. David Calvino says, I can hear Paul Hogan, but he's not a guest. I think he can you hear my son? Is that maybe what he can hear? My son in the background? That might be what he hears. I don't know. But yeah, that is an awesome get. It says Tommy, holy moly, one of our best captains, longest serving players ever. Big up, Nate. Appreciate you being here. I think TJ and I will be on Pro Clubs tonight, I think. So let me know if you're around. Donovan, unpopular opinion, but I want Dyer to play Ainge Ball, says Donovan. He wants Ainge Ball for Dyer.
Did you say you're playing a bit of FIFA?
Yes.
Do you want to let people know who your coach is, that you never lose a game when the
technically coach is... when Hotspur Staclue, the Hotspur Hippies Staclue, Paul Beatty is our manager. Paul Beatty Coglu. Anytime he's in the chat, we never lose. That's just how it goes. Look, Nate and I were getting some dubs last night. I didn't stream it, but we were getting some dubs. But over on Jacob TV, the secondary channel, you can find all the FIFA fun. We'll probably be streaming that tonight.
Is a dub a win? I keep getting L's a loss, isn't what?
A dub. A dub is like a W, which is a win.
Oh.
Yeah. I cook the pizza. I cook the pizza.
It's all gone to shit, isn't it?
And here we go. There's the old man on the counter, on the porch. You damn kids with your dubs. And then like, hold that L, old man. Hold that L.
Get off my porch, boy.
Get off my porch, you dirty, stinky children. Big up, Chang. Gifting the 5 memberships. Big up, Chang. Appreciate you doing that. And appreciate for the gift that you sent me as well. I appreciate you, my friend. And then as well as Ellie with Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. I really appreciate 2 very generous super chats to the channel. I appreciate it very much. It means a lot to me personally, Ellie. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your generosity. But that is going to do it. Clang Pasta Coglu. I love the balls heard around the world. There's just something about that. Timmy says my career mode manager name is Timitios. My last name Oglu. I love it. Big up Intaj. Lateness is greatness. Don't worry. You can always hit this back on playback and watch it from the beginning. But I appreciate everyone who has hit the like. I'm going to end the poll and let's see what the results are. I have 81 likes on the video and 112 votes. That's 30 of y'all. That's 31 people that voted but didn't like the video. Ain't that something? But big up for everyone who did hit that like, and big up everybody. 74% says Spurs can and will still get points. I love to see it. That's how I feel. That's where my vote is. 10% shared equally says the defensive player carousel is the reason. And then 10% also say Wolves will be up for it. They might well be up for it, but guess what? They're going to get up and we're going to knock their ass down with a little bit of bappity-bappity. Hyungmin son, Hyungmin dad. Look, I got another preview tomorrow. We will be going for longer tomorrow. My wife's schedule has cleared up a little bit, so daddy's coming out to play. I'm going to bring a banger of a preview tomorrow, 10 p.m. UK. Don't miss it. Hope to see you all there. Pange Hipster Coglu is what Ellie's calling you, Paul, and I love that. We'll sort this one out. Phillips, that's the Ainge way, says David Calvino. We'll find out on Saturday. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. So I hope to see every single one of y'all here again. Look, I just want to say again, I thanked y'all at the beginning. I'm going to thank y'all again at the end. the constant support. I know there wasn't as many here tonight as per usual, but I don't care whether there's fucking 20 of you or there's 120 of you. I appreciate every single one of you checking in with United Spurs of America.
Should we have a moment's silence for all those fallen viewers that have stopped watching your streams? Fuck them, mate. They're missing out.
And if they left because they didn't like me or they didn't like what I have to say, really, there's only one way to address that.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
I am who I am. You can like it or love it. I will say that. So big up to every single one of you who have checked in. Hit that like on your way out. If you haven't already, I would appreciate it. It's free. It costs you nothing. But you know what? It is what it is, folks. I'm going to keep it real. I'm always going to tell you from the bottom of my heart how I feel, and that is appreciative and grateful for every single one of y'all here. I said I was about to sign off the show. About 20 people leave, but there's still 55 here that said, I'm here for the final word of Paul and Jacob. And guess what?
Gasp!
The last gasping breath. And I fucking love every single one of you who want to be here and who enjoy it. That means the most to me. So big up every single one of you, whether you're a member, non-member, whether you just hit a like or you just watch and you just want to hear and see what Jacob's up to. Big up yourself right now. Even if you're a hater. We got love for haters out here. I'll tell you that much. But there's not many of them. There's only about 3 people who hate me, 30 people who don't want to support me, and there's hundreds of y'all who do. And you know what? I'm not going to be like a woman, Paul, or I'm not like a woman. It's a human. That was kind of sexist. Let me say a human. No, Paul, put down the Twitter. Put down the Twitter. Don't fucking. All right. What I was trying to say.
Tate, I've got a new photo for you.
Oh, no.
Ben
No,
Shapiro.
I was going to say that I'm not going to do
Tucker
what the
Carlson.
I'm fucking canceled. No, what I'm trying to say here, Paul, is this. I'm not going to do the human tendency, which is you get 100 compliments and then one person talks shit to you. It's like you didn't hear all the compliments. All you heard was someone talk shit to you. No, what I am doing is I'm going to acknowledge the love, and I don't even hear the hate. I see you, but I don't hear you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I approach it. That's how Paul approaches it. I think apparently you were fighting someone today, but we'll find out as the coconuts fall out the tree. We'll find out. But big up everybody who has checked in, every single one of you. And no, it is not gender specific addressing or forgetting all the compliments. Anyway, I'm digging myself a fucking hole here. I'm going to end off the show. So as always, stay blessed, stay fresh, up the lads, and come on, you Spurs. Goose.
United Spurs of America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.